Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we would be discussing about the lateral ventricle. So, the lateral ventricle are irregular cavities located in the cerebral hemisphere. They are two in number, that is one for each cerebral hemisphere. This cavity is communicated with the third ventricle through the interventricular foramen or the foramen of Monro. The same can be seen in this figure. This is the lateral ventricle. This is the third ventricle. This is the communication, the interventricular foramen in between. Again, the figure shows the same thing. Lateral ventricle, third ventricle, foramen of Monro, which is a communication in between both these ventricles. The parts of the lateral ventricle, for the purpose of study, we divide it into various parts. That is the central part of the body of the lateral ventricle. Then there are three horns, that is the anterior, posterior and inferior, named according to the location where they are present. With the help of this image, the various views of the lateral ventricle can be seen with the help of various views, and its various parts can be understood. That is, this is the body of the central part, this is the anterior horn, this is the posterior horn, and this is the inferior horn. So the anterior horn would be towards the frontal lobe, posterior towards the occipital lobe, and the inferior would be towards the temporal lobe. Now, one by one, we will discuss about its parts in detail. The central part of the body extends anatomically from the interventricular foramen in front to the splenium of the corpus callosum behind. This is the interventricular foramen. This is the splenium of the corpus callosum. So this portion from ear to ear is the central part of the body of the lateral ventricle. Corpus callosum are commissural fibers. They connect the two cerebral hemispheres. They are white matter fibers. The boundaries, the structures that form the boundary of the central part of the lateral ventricle are: the roof is formed by the undersurface of the corpus callosum, floor by the body of caudate nucleus, stria terminalis, thalamostriate vein, lateral portions of the upper surface of thalamus, and choroid plexus. So caudate nucleus is a gray matter nuclei. It is part of the basal nuclei. It again has different parts: a head, body, tail. The stria terminalis, it's a band of fiber. It is a linear band of fiber, and it basically runs along the lateral margin of the ventricular surface of the thalamus. Thalamostriate vein is also, it is present in the groove between the corpus striatum and the thalamus. Corpus striatum is again a cluster of neurons. Thalamus again is a gray matter, large mass of gray matter. In this figure, the relations of the lateral ventricle and the corpus callosum can be seen. So the roof is formed by the undersurface of the corpus callosum. The floor has got the caudate nucleus, the thalamus, also the stria terminalis can be seen. These are the various parts related: the corpus callosum, the head of the caudate nucleus. They are all related with the cavity of the lateral ventricle, the thalamus. Now, various other structures of the floor, like the thalamostriate vein, the choroid plexus, the thalamus, can be seen here. Next is the medial boundary of the central part. It is formed by the septum pellucidum and the fornix, especially the body of the fornix. So fornix is a bundle of nerve fibers. It is a C-shaped bundle of nerve fibers, and septum pellucidum is a fiber. It is a layer. It connects the corpus callosum with the fornix. Next part is the anterior horn. It lies in front of the interventricular foramen, extending into the frontal lobe, and it is also directed forwards, laterally, and downwards. This portion is the anterior horn in front of the interventricular foramen. The boundaries of the anterior horn, that is, the roof is formed by the anterior part of trunk of the corpus callosum, floor by the head of caudate nucleus, upper surface of the rostrum of corpus callosum. So this figure shows the relation of the corpus callosum with the lateral ventricle, how the various parts of the corpus callosum is related with the various parts of the lateral ventricle. This figure also shows the location of the lateral ventricle, and this white band is the corpus callosum. The various parts of the corpus callosum like the genu, trunk, splenium and rostrum can be seen here. This figure we have already discussed. This figure is trying to show the relations of the corpus callosum, the caudate nucleus and the thalamus with the lateral ventricle. This in blue here is the lateral ventricle, and these are the structures related. This is the corpus callosum, this is caudate nucleus, this is thalamus. The anterior boundary of the anterior horn is formed by the posterior surface of the genu and rostrum of the corpus callosum, and the medial boundary is again formed by the septum pellucidum and the two columns of the fornix. Same could be seen here in this figure, that is, you can see the corpus callosum, then the fornix. They are connected with the help of the septum pellucidum, and on both sides of the structure the lateral ventricle is located. So the anterior horn in particular, the boundary of the anterior horn is formed by the posterior surface of genu and rostrum of the corpus callosum, and the medial wall is formed by the septum pellucidum and the two columns of the fornix that you can see here in this figure. So that's all for today. The remaining portion would be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you so much.